If you're just joining us, Donald Trump is going to be the next president headed back to the White House. Republicans also managed to secure the majority in the Senate. Still trying to get the full picture on whether Democrats or Republicans will control the House. Democrats did make some congressional gains in some of the New York State seats. One of the people Donald Trump was thanking for his win in the early morning hours when he was up at the podium was Elon Musk.
Let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning.
Christina Greer is with us this morning, professor of political science at Fordham University, a New York One political contributor. Bill O'Reilly back with us today, a Republican strategist. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Professor.
Bill, we just heard a little bit from that 2 a.m. speech from Donald Trump. He has promised that he is going to make government more efficient, and Elon Musk says he wants to help with that.
That'll be interesting. Elon Musk is definitely walking in. I doubt that he takes a real position with the administration, but he clearly has a lot to do with President Trump's victory, President-elect Trump victory. So I think he's going to be around, and I think he will be one of Trump's top advisors.
Bill, at what point in the evening did you start to have some confidence that Trump had put together the support he needed?
Pretty early. I mean, what was clear? We talked yesterday about the incredible female turnout in vote, and a lot of those women were voting for Trump. And once you kind of saw that developing, you could see the trend. But it was probably, I was doing local elections also, so it was probably midnight-ish. After 11 when it started to get clear. So you're right. A lot of people are waking up this morning to the news, and they're going to have a new president.
Christina, I was going through some of these numbers that show us demographic information. Latino voters and black voters in this election moved away from Democrats toward Donald Trump in significant numbers. When you look at some of the issues, that might be a surprise to Democrats. What will they do to respond?
All right, so a few things. One, I mean, Democrats obviously have to think about the broad coalition that they're building and why it doesn't seem to be pushing them over the edge for this particular election season. Obviously, it looks like Republicans are going to win the House, the Senate, and the presidency. But let's be very clear, Pat, the vast majority of the people who are sending Donald Trump back to the White House are white women and white men. And so I think, in the next few days or weeks, there will be some sort of scapegoating as to who was the problem in the Democratic Party. And what was the messaging? But I think we also have to be very clear that historically, white women have always been Republicans when it comes for the presidency. So even with a woman's right to choose and abortion and female autonomy on the ballot, white women still, by and large, chose to vote against those protections.
Should the Democratic candidate have been Joe Biden?
Oh, I do not think so. I love and respect Joe Biden. He's been a public servant for the last 50 years. But I think that debate in June showed us that Joe Biden's time would probably be best served on the beaches of Delaware. I think, there were so many Democrats who had written off this election in June, and the nomination of Kamala Harris really injected a real possibility and a series of policy conversations that, quite honestly, Democrats just weren't having when Joe Biden was at the top of the ticket.
Bill, do you agree with that? Was Kamala Trump more of a challenge than Joe Biden would have been?
I mean, it turned out that I don't think she turned out to be. Which is a pretty interesting dynamic. I mean, the Democratic Party's got to ask itself. I mean, voters in 2016 could be said they don't know what was going to happen with President Trump. They got to know President Trump for all his weirdnesses and foibles and the rest of it. Voters knew what they were going to get this time, and even with all of Trump's eccentricities and the rest of it, they chose him over the woke Democratic Party. And I think that's backbreaking to the left. And so I think people on the left are going to be talking for a long time about who they represent, what they represent, and what's their reason for existence.
Christina, final question to you. How much does the picture in Washington change if Democrats don't at least control one chamber? If they can't control the House, how unrestrained will this Republican majority be?
Oh, quite frightening. I mean, I think everything from our water and our air to our education systems to our autonomy. And we have to also remember we know who this country is. She's moved very fast, and far in a short period of time. Keep in mind, my parents went to segregated schools, so we can't ignore the fact that there is a Black woman at the top of the ticket that definitely factored into why people could or could not vote for Kamala Harris.
Christina and Bill, thank you to both of you for being with us yesterday. Thank you for rejoining us with the results in today. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.